Hello and welcome. I'm Lloyd with the Wynn's Technical Training Team, and today I want to introduce a new product from Wynn's, which is the Turbo Cleaner. This is a foaming product that we introduce into the intake side of the turbo, and it allows cleaning on the front and the back side of the turbo. Some key features of this product is cleaning the carbon on the front and the back side of the turbo, keeps it in balance. So by doing that, it's going to extend the life of the turbo. We're also going to allow for maximum airflow, and that's going to create a situation where we're able to get more air in, so it's going to give us maximum power out of the engine. It's also going to give us an efficient fuel economy. One key feature about this product is it's a dual product. It works for gasoline engines, and it also works for diesel engines. With the gasoline engine, it is O2 sensor and catalytic converter safe. On the diesel side, it is safe for the DPF and the SCR systems that are in there. We'll go over more details of the service and the difference between them later in the video. This is a once a year maintenance service to keep that turbo working at optimum performance, so we can get longevity, performance, and the fuel economy out of it that we need. So what do we need to do the service? Well, we need this can of turbo cleaner. We will need our S-tool adapter, and in this demonstration here, we're going to use the pedal depressor, which you can use the pedal depressor or any appropriate means that you have to control the idle for the duration of the service. We have our vehicle here, so we're going to step over to the vehicle and we're going to get it prepared and ready to do the service. Now, before we start on the service, let's talk about some key safety features. We want to make sure that we have gloves on our hands so we don't get any chemical for a skin irritant or get cut, so we want to make sure that stays safe. We also don't wear eye protection so nothing flies up into our eyes. We also want to make sure, because we're going to be working around the running engine, make sure we don't have any loose clothes or jewelry that could get tangled up into a fan belt or fan or something of that nature. You also want to make sure you're in a well ventilated area, or if you're not, have an exhaust fan that moves the exhaust out of the area that you're in, so that way it's as safe as possible for you. And then after all that's done, then we're ready to do the service. So now that we have all of our safety features in place, we're going to attach the S-tool adapter into the opening of the turbo. All right, so now we're going to pull the air intake boot back. We're going to slide the boot. Back on it, and it's going to hold the adapter in place. We then are going to come back in and just snug up the screw to keep our airflow down. Now, this is our primary source that we want to use, which is directly at the intake opening of the turbo. If this isn't available or not accessible, then we have a secondary method, which would be here at the air cleaner box. Just make sure if you're using this area, to make sure that the S-tool is pushing the product away from the air filter and into the front of the turbo. Now that we have this in place, we're ready to start the vehicle, bring it up to operating temperature, and continue the service. All right, now that we have our S-tool adapter in place, we have the vehicle on, running, and we have the idle at 2,000 RPMs, and we have it at operating temperature. So what we're going to do now is we're going to attach the can of turbo cleaner to the S-tool adapter, and we're going to start the service. Now, in reference to diesel engines, for detailed instructions on how to perform a service on a diesel engine, please refer to the job aid. Now we're going to attach the S-tool adapter to the can. Make sure the safety cap stays on. We're going to at least push it up 1/4 inch to make sure that it doesn't slip off. Now that we have that on, we're going to pull the can safety top off. And then what we're going to do is we're going to administer a short burst for the entirety of the can. Once the service is over and you've emptied the entire contents of the can, what we want to do is we want to let that engine sit there and idle at 2,000 RPMs for 3 minutes. What that's going to do is purge any residual product that's sitting in the system. That way we don't have any adverse reactions once we're completed with the service. So once it's idle for the 3 minutes, we're going to shut the engine down. We're going to remove the S-tool adapter from the front of the turbocharger. We're going to reattach the air intake boot. We're then going to verify that there's nothing loose or there's no issues under the hood. At that point, it's ready for a test drive. What you're going to do on the test drive, make sure that there's no adverse reactions with the engine, and also make sure that there's no check engine lights that are set that you need to clear or correct before you give back to the consumer. Once you're back, that's the service. It's a simple process, and it's something that can be very effective for you and your consumer. If you want more detailed instructions on the gasoline or the diesel service for the turbocharger, please refer to our job aid. And as always, if you have a question about product and or the service, please contact your local Wynn distributor. Thank you. Have a great day.